The incident originated from a rhesus monkey at the Yerkes Primate Research Center, University of California, Davis. This monkey escaped from the cage and climbed onto a power pole, biting into a 12,000-volt power line. As a result, power lines shorted, leading to power outages in surrounding areas. In particular, Southern California Edison CE had to spend about $20,000 to overcome the consequences. Luckily, in this incident, there was no human damage. To prevent power outages in the city, people used guns to deal with millions of monkeys. According to the California Department of Forestry and Game, the number of invasive monkeys decreased by more than 8,000 between 2009 and 2016. The number of power outages caused by monkeys has decreased from 50 in 2016 to 32 in 2021. Strategic outages and property damage. When participating in monkey hunting with guns in California. In California, monkey hunting season usually lasts from August to March and is allowed to hunt 30 to 40 monkeys. To successfully deal with invaded monkeys, hunters must have the skills. When hunting, dense vegetation in forested areas can obscure. Environmental conditions such as wind, dust, and obstacles can affect hunting accuracy. Besides, people must be alert when participating in monkey hunting and have an understanding of the terrain. To deal with millions of invasive monkeys, Californians have used a combination of trapping methods. To install a net trap to catch monkeys, you need to prepare a sturdy metal frame and durable net. First, set up the frame in a location where monkeys often appear. Then, attach the net to the frame, making sure it is tied tightly and does not let the monkey escape. Place attractive bait such as fruit in the center of the trap to attract monkeys. When monkeys search for prey, the net will collapse, trapping them. This has helped protect the city from monkey infestation in a safe and humane way. Net traps do not harm monkeys. Using net traps also helps people save time and effort compared to repelling with chemical traps. Trap design can be improved by painting a layer of paint to help camouflage the trap better in natural environments. This paint can be green or dark, helping the trap blend in with surrounding vegetation and soil. This makes the monkeys lose their guard, thereby increasing the capture rate. In addition, paint also helps protect the trap from the effects of weather, extending its lifespan. The bait needs to be delicious and attractive, usually fruits such as bananas or papaya, to stimulate the monkeys to come closer and look for food. However, the use of traps must comply with legal regulations, and only licensed, experienced hunters are allowed to do so. Hunters need to understand the mechanism of trap operation, monkey behavior, and know how to handle dangerous situations that may occur during monkey traps, ensuring the safety of hunters. The effectiveness of using traps to control invasive monkeys is clearly demonstrated by California Parks and Wildlife Department statistics. In 2023, more than 5,000 invasive monkeys were captured in cage traps statewide, a decrease of about 30% compared to 2022, when more than 1,200 monkeys were captured. The lesson for hunters is the need to continuously improve and adjust control strategies to achieve optimal effectiveness. Education programs need to focus on teaching people how to properly set traps. In addition, people need to be warned about the dangers of monkeys entering residential areas, such as the risk of spreading diseases and their aggressive behavior. In particular, it is necessary to provide knowledge on how to respond when attacked by monkeys, including staying calm, avoiding approaching or provoking them, and calling for help from the authorities. Improving community awareness and skills contributes to the effective conservation and management of invasive monkeys in human habitats. Humane handling of invasive monkeys is a priority to ensure animal welfare and policies. Measures will be taken carefully so as not to harm the monkeys. Once caught, the monkeys will be taken to nature reserves, where they can freely search for food in their natural habitat. This reduces their negative effects on the lives of people in the city. Both guns and traps are effective, but still controversial. Some communities believe that using traps is a more humane measure, allowing monkeys to be captured and safely relocated to nature reserves. Traps also help reduce the risk of injury and limit negative impacts on the ecosystem. On the contrary, using guns to control monkeys can be considered a quick measure. However, this measure is highly controversial ethically and carries a high risk of harming invasive monkeys. What do you think about these measures? Please comment below on which measure you support. Is California farmers' way of dealing with invasive monkeys the most effective method? If you support the monkey hunting method, please comment number 1. Click the like button if you support setting traps. Share the video for your family to have good luck. Thank you for accompanying until the end of the video. Continue watching the video with me.
If you are a Spanish person, you probably won't be surprised when it comes to invasive wild boars. But you will have a headache in dealing with them to protect your fields. Wild boars cause heavy damage to agricultural land in Spain, especially grassland. Because they have long snouts and strong teeth, they help them dig and find food, damaging the soil by gnawing on grass and biting up tree roots. This action reduces the uniformity and flatness of the soil surface, reducing the nutritional quality of the soil. Every time they go looking for food, wild boars often gather in herds of 10 to 30 animals. In Spain, they have caused severe damage to thousands of acres of grassland. Certain areas of Spain, such as the Sierra Morena and Donana National Park, have suffered heavy damage from wild boar activity, causing grasslands to weaken and lose their productive potential. Agricultural export. This causes not only economic losses but also affects local ecosystems and long-term land health. If your area is being invaded by wild boars, please comment 1 so we can help you find a way to deal with it in the next part of the video. The invasion of wild boars has caused serious damage in Spain cities, especially Barcelona. With an estimated population of more than 2 million wild boars nationwide, this number has doubled over the past 2 decades. They have disrupted the daily lives of city residents in Barcelona. In 2021 alone, there were about 1,200 traffic accidents involving wild boars recorded. This not only poses a risk to traffic safety, but also causes property damage and impacts human health. Wild boars not only cause damage to streets and parks, but also affect gardens and farms around the city. The expansion of wild boars from natural environments and farms into cities is often explained by reduced natural living conditions and scarce food sources. Their adaptation to the town environment and the availability of food from garbage has caused them to find their way into the city, causing many problems for the residential community. The estimated annual economic damage caused by wild boars in Barcelona is up to 12 million euros. An alarming number that needs to be dealt with drastically. Are you looking forward to how to deal with wild boars? Don't take your eyes off the screen. Continue watching how to deal with it right away. According to my research, Russian people often deal with wild boars by using hunting dogs, which are loyal allies used to hunt and chase invasive wild boars. Meanwhile, Spanish people often use traps to hold back one leg of wild boars, to limit their movement and control the number of invasive species in the area. Before jumping in, learn about the effectiveness of using this method. You need to know how to install and operate this type of trap. This type of trap is a traditional trap consisting of a long, sturdy steel cable about 3 feet long, tied tightly to a large tree in the forest where wild boars often hide. Each end of the rope will have a trap surface designed so that when the wild boar steps on it, the trap mechanism will tie in one leg, making it impossible for them to escape. This type of trap will differ from other types of food traps in that it does not require the use of bait. You should note that this type of trap needs to be replaced on a flat ground surface. When the trap's operating mechanism is fully set up, the hunter will cover the trap with a layer of leaves so that the wild boar cannot detect it. Hunters need to regularly check traps. This type of traps has a unique feature. The more wild boars try to resist, the more the trap will tighten their legs. They try to escape the trap for a long time, causing them to lose their ability and strength. When the wild boar is trapped, the hunter will tie its snout with specialized tape and tie its forward legs together. To ensure safety during their transportation to the pressing area. This not only helps hunters easily control them, but also to ensure that they do not cause any harm to the hunter. However, if the hunter is not careful, there is a risk of being attacked by wild boars during handling. Wild boars can become very dangerous when they are threatened or injured, potentially causing serious injuries to hunters if they do not follow safety measures while trapping. Therefore, the use of traps requires permission from local authorities. Hunters need to take courses on how to set traps and learn how to handle situations when attacked by wild boars. Do you know why Spanish people can quickly locate wild boars without having to directly search? They have to invest in more equipment to deal with wild boars. They simply use drones equipped with infrared and thermal sensors to search for wild boars hiding in dense cornfields at an altitude of about 150 meters. Cameras allow hunters to observe wild boar movements from above. If you were at home and could still observe what the wild boar was doing, would you believe this? Using drones helps support helicopter hunting, according to a report by the Royal Spanish Hunting Association, RFEC. In 2022, about 20,000 wild boars were destroyed using helicopter hunting. The use of aircraft to hunt wild boars in Spain has been significantly effective in controlling and reducing the number of invasive wild boars. Airplanes provide a flexible and fast means of transportation, allowing groups of hunters to locate and access areas where wild boars are often active with ease. Airplanes also help in moving quickly between different hunting areas, optimizing hunters' time and energy. Since then, wild boar hunting aircraft has become an important tool in efforts in protect and manage the wildlife in Spain. Besides, Spanish people oppose the use of hunting equipment by plane for many reasons. First, they are concerned about safety issues, including the risk of plane crashes, frightening noise, and environmental pollution. Second, they claim that this method negatively affects the environment, ecosystems, and wildlife. Third, many people object for ethical reasons, arguing that using airplanes for hunting is unfair, unsportsmanlike, cruel, and can lead to ecological imbalance. Finally, costs are high and may impact traditional ecotourism and safaris. Thank you so much for watching this entire video. Comment 1 if you agree with the helicopter method of dealing with wild boars. and comment 0 if you think the Spanish people's method of trapping wild boars is unique. Click the like button now and subscribe to the channel to watch the latest videos on how to deal with wild boars. You wouldn't expect the pressure Russian farmers are facing from dealing with wild boars. Their invasion has robbed farmers of their property, causing about $40 million in damage to peanut crops and $61 million to corn crops and 11 federal subjects each year. A recent study by researchers at Agrarian Cuban University reported that the optimal time to prevent potential damage and economic loss for wild boar is immediately before planting. According to research results, the agricultural fields located near forests are the main living areas for pigs, which is also the cause of more damage. Why are cornfields more affected than peanut fields? As I know, the first factor is that because of their large appearance, they will choose cornfields to hide. Cornfields in Russia have a large area and large crop yields, providing a significant food source for wild boars. Additionally, the natural landscape environment of Russian cornfields provides large spaces for wild boars to operate naturally without detection from hunters and hounds. When I talk about wild boars hiding to avoid hunting by hunting dogs, you will be very surprised, right? Yes, you heard right. Russian farmers have applied the method of using hunting dogs to deal with wild boars. If you have no idea why would a normal dog can chase a giant wild boar, please comment number 1 in the comment section if you have any idea. So what kind of characteristics and standards do wild dogs have in order to participate in hunting? Wild boar hunting dogs are dogs with strong body structures and incredible strength. With their large size and lean muscles, they're equipped to conquer harsh mountain environments and confront wild boars. What's special about them is their ability to use their sense of smell, helping them detect and track the scent of wild boars in dense forests. In addition, intelligence and loyalty are outstanding characteristics of hunting dogs. They can understand and comply with instructions from the trainer. During the training process, hunting dogs hunting wild boar are taught to recognize and react properly to the tracks and scents of wild boars. At the same time, they're also trained to hunt with their teammates to create efficiency during the hunting process. After being trained, the dogs will be assigned the task of hunting. The first task, hunting dogs will deal with wild boars and the bushes, is an effective measure to help hunters avoid danger. However, it should be noted that this method should only be practiced by hunters who are licensed to participate in hunts. In Russia, the law allowing hunters to hunt wild boars with hunting dogs is stipulated in the Forestry Code of the Russian Federation. The permit period for using hunting dogs is the same day as the wild boar hunting season. The wild boar hunting season lasts from September to February. Are you surprised by the results of this measure? The result of the hunter's hunt was to catch a wild boar weighing 420 pounds, an impressive number. However, the notion that Russian farmers using hunting dogs to hunt wild boars was cruel is a misunderstanding. They use this method because it is the most effective. If you think that they deserve some action, leave a comment below in the comment section right now. Hounds can only attack wild boars that are not too large. When confronted a pack of hunting dogs, the wild boar shows fear and anxiety. Regardless of the terrain, hunting dogs always try their best to chase and take down wild boar herds. They demonstrate outstanding fighting spirit and perseverance in pursuing and facing wild boars. What do you think about this method of handling wild boars? If you like this approach, leave a comment below right now. The right time to hunt is early in the morning when the Russian hunter begins to prepare for his hunt. They checked their equipment and made sure hunting tools were complete and neatly arranged in the cart. Leading hunting dogs, they moved to areas where wild boars were hiding. When the sun rose, the farmer called his hounds and the hunt officially began. The hunting dogs, intelligent and hunting, began to follow the scent of the wild boar in the deep forest. They're often retained by hunting dogs in parts that they are easy to attack, such as the neck, ears, and hind legs. These locations are the wild boar's weak points, making them more vulnerable to attack. The confrontation between hunting dogs and wild boar happens quickly, usually lasting only a few minutes, until the wild boar can no longer resist. Once they're down, the hunter signals the hound to stop by calling his name or using a specific signal. This ensures that no unnecessary injuries occur after the hunt. During the hunt, Russian people often bring 4 to 5 hunting dogs, including 3 large hunting dogs and 2 small hunting dogs. Large dogs weigh about 70 to 80 pounds each, while small dogs weigh about 40 pounds. Using hunting dogs in hunting not only brings excitement and fun to hunters but also ensures their safety from potential dangers in the wild. Hunting dogs are trained to detect and track wild animals without too much human intervention. This helps reduce the risk of direct contact with potentially dangerous wild animals. In addition, the use of hunting dogs has proven effective in controlling and reducing the number of wild boars nationwide. Russia, with the ability of hunting dogs, hunters have been able to reduce the number of harmful wild boars by 70 to 80%, helping to protect fields from their destruction. Furthermore, hunting with hunting dogs also helps hunters significantly reduce costs. Instead of having to use expensive means of transportation and complicated tools, thereby reducing costs related to travel and hunting equipment. This not only saves costs, but also adds convenience and efficiency to the hunt. Although hunting wild boars with hunting dogs has brought many benefits to controlling the wild boar population in cornfields in Russia, there are still some communities that do not support this method. One of the main reasons is concerns about the cruel treatment of invasive wild boars. Some people think that the use of hunting dogs may cause unnecessary pain to them when they are attacked by a large number of hunting dogs. In addition, some communities are also concerned about disrupting the natural balance and affecting the ecosystem caused by hunting. They claim to control a large number of wild boars in the area. What do you think about the new method of Russian hunters in dealing with invasive wild boars? Is your family's cornfield suffering from the effects of invasive wild boars? Comment number 1 if you support hunting wild boars with hunting dogs, and comment 0 if you disagree with this method as it can hurt the hunting dogs. Thank you for accompanying us until the end of the video. Click the like button to motivate us to produce videos on how to deal with invasive animals right now. Come on, what are you waiting for? Subscribe now and stay tuned for more upcoming videos. Invasive wolves are not only a major risk for farmers in the United States anymore, but are now also a serious problem for farmers in Europe. Every year, farmers in Europe face huge losses due to the wolf attacks. Sheep are often the main target of ferocious wolves, and as a result, millions of sheep die, causing great economic loss. Estimated losses are 20 million euros per year, posing a challenge for the sheep fur processing industry, which must adjust output to meet supply and demand. Sheep farms often suffer the heaviest losses in winter. This is a time when food for wolves becomes scarce. And they seek out targets as easily as sheep. This ease makes sheep farms ideal targets for wolves. Sheep are often attacked in the neck and thigh areas, which often makes them unable to react against aggressive wolves and without timely protection from the breeder. Wolves often enter unprotected areas near forests where they escape quickly. According to recent studies, the number of wolves has increased in Europe, and this means an increased risk for farmers. Wolves often attack livestock while they're on the move or at night, causing significant economic loss to farmers. These attacks raise worrying questions about measures to protect sheep herds and stable income for farmers. Are there any measures that can effectively prevent wolf attacks without harming their survival? This requires collaboration between researchers, environmental regulators, and farmers to find the most appropriate and sustainable solutions. During the hot chase between cows and wolves running speed can reach about 35 to 40 miles per hour. This strength and speed helps wolves easily chase cows, creating opportunities for successful hunting. With the ability to run fast and hunting techniques, wolves can chase weak and lone cows without too much difficulty. In this context, farmers in Europe are facing a major challenge, needing to find effective measures to protect their livestock from wolf attacks. The best time to hunt wolves is usually at night or early in the morning. Wolves are often more active at night when they hunt for the prey. During this time, wolves can be more easily observed and approached, giving hunters a better opportunity to conduct effective hunting. In addition, wintertime is also a popular choice for wolf hunting. During winter, food may become more scarce and wolves will need to move more to find food, making them easier to observe. The wolf hunting process requires careful preparation and skill from the hunter. One of the most important factors is determining and maintaining a safe and effective distance. The distance to shoot down a wolf usually ranges from about 50 to 300 meters, depending on environmental conditions and the hunter's skills. Choosing the right range is important because it affects the accuracy of the bullet. It ensures the hunter's rights and the animal's natural experience are preserved. At this distance, the hunter can use a viewfinder or observation device to accurately assess and identify the target object before shooting. Distance also helps hunters avoid detection by their prey, minimizing the risk of wolves detecting their presence and reacting by fleeing or attacking. Once the appropriate distance has been determined, wolf shooting needs to be done accurately and alertly, using appropriate weapons and ammunition to ensure effectiveness and safety. During the hunting season, hunting with teammates or alone has its own advantages and disadvantages as well. However, hunting with teammates often brings more benefits in many cases. The presence of teammates not only creates a safer environment, but also improves the likelihood of hunting success. First, hunting with teammates provides support and safety for each member of the group. If you encounter an emergency or dangerous situation, having someone nearby can provide timely help and support. Second, hunting with teammates increases your chances of successfully shooting down a prey. Having additional hunting eyes, ears, and experience of teammates increases the ability to detect and track the prey, improves orientation and search abilities, thereby increasing the chance of hitting and achieving the target. Finally, hunting with teammates provides a better social experience. Sharing the joys, challenges, and achievements of hunting creates a deep memory and strong bond between group members. This not only adds excitement and passion to hunting activities, but also creates an environment of cohesion and a strong sense of team. To strike a balance between human interests and the survival of wild animals such as wolves, controlling wolf populations through hunting campaigns and farm protection measures is extremely important. Using an innovative approach such as using modern technology to monitor wolf behavior and deploying strategic trapping methods can reduce wolf intrusions and simultaneously minimize impacts negative to the ecosystem. This increases the effectiveness in protecting both humans and wildlife, while keeping natural habitats balanced and sustainable as well. Hunting is discouraged as it can seriously damage animal populations and the environment. Hunting can reduce the number and biodiversity of species, as well as disrupt ecological relationships. In addition, taking down wild animals can disrupt the natural food chain and adversely affect the growth of other species in the biological community. Therefore, respecting and protecting their lives. It's very important to maintain natural balance and protect their habitat. Although there are no official figures on how many people in Europe use hunting equipment to kill wolves, wolf killing is still practiced in some countries on the continent. Depending on the laws and hunting culture of each country, the use of hunting equipment to take down wolves may be regulated and monitored differently. Some countries have robust wolf management programs in which the use of hunting equipment to control wolf populations is carefully regulated and monitored by authorities. However, specific data on the number of people participating in wolf hunting in Europe has not been widely published due to the sensitivity of this issue and fluctuations in legal regulations and opinions. And finally, my dear audience, I want you to go ahead and comment number 1 if you agree with the European people hunting. And lastly, thank you guys so much for watching this whole entire video. Like and press the channel subscription button to watch the next videos. Until then, see you again.
Foxes are common predators in North America. Their agility is shown in their hunting techniques. They can live alone or in groups of 8 to 10 animals. Over the past 20 years, the number of invasive foxes in North America has increased rapidly, with an annual population of about 100,000. This situation is causing damage to the country's economy amounting to hundreds of millions of dollars. Between 2000 and 2020, fox numbers doubled from 300 to 600 and appear to be unchecked by natural predators. Foxes can climb quite well. They can overcome low fences to reach their hunting targets. The practice of climbing over fences to enter residential areas and farms by invasive foxes has become a familiar sight. In North America, foxes are not only predators but also a serious threat to the agricultural industry, especially chicken and sheep farms. Fox attacks often occur at night when the chickens are resting. Every night, foxes can cause great damage to livestock, causing economic and emotional damage to farmers. Areas near forests or wilderness are often places where foxes often appear and attack. They attack farms to hunt and find food. Foxes attack sheep mainly in the neck area, causing the sheep to not survive or be seriously injured. The threat from foxes in North America is becoming a serious problem, as they attack chicken flocks and pose a challenge to social welfare. In addition to endangering chickens, foxes also steal eggs. A 2016 study by the United States Department of Agriculture, USDA, estimated fox losses to the U.S. Poultry industry at up to $22 million per year, affecting the 48 contiguous U.S. states, benefit up to $118 million USD per year. What do you think about the harmful effects caused by foxes on people? Farmers have used snap traps to control fox populations since the 19th century. Traps are strategically deployed in areas where foxes frequent, such as near barns or pastures. The trap's mechanism is designed to activate quickly when the fox enters, ensuring effective capture. The number of foxes captured annually has decreased by about 20% over the past 2 decades, which equates to about 20,000 foxes trapped through these devices each year in North America. For the trap setting process to be effective, what do hunters need to pay attention to? Setting foot clip traps to trap invasive foxes is an activity that requires care and skill. Hunters participating in this activity need to be 18 years of age or older, according to the law. Setting traps requires an understanding of fox behavior and habits, as well as an understanding of the environment and terrain. Experienced hunters often easily recognize ideal locations for traps and understand how to adjust traps to increase the likelihood of catching foxes and reduce the risk of trapping other animals. What about those new to dealing with invasive foxes? Beginners can also participate after thorough training and guidance. In North America, trappers often travel independently. The time to set traps ranges from a few minutes to several hours to complete the trapping process effectively. Measurement of hunting activities in North America adheres to strict regulations outlined in federal hunting laws. According to these regulations, only hunters with a valid hunting license are allowed to participate in these activities to ensure safety, because foxes are often active at night. Hunters need to be equipped with the necessary equipment from hunting gear to appropriate gas and other necessary equipment. Careful preparation is important, and hunters must have a good knowledge of the areas. Hunting terrain. According to research in New Zealand, a large-scale fox control program has helped reduce the number of invasive foxes from 70,000 to 2,000 within 10 years. That is thanks to the application of hunting methods that are popular in North America. However, others oppose it due to concerns about animal welfare and the potential impact on the ecosystem. Therefore, the government needs to come up with effective coping policies to balance animal species. Do you know how hunting dogs assist humans in hunting invasive foxes? Hounds play an important role in assisting humans in hunting invasive foxes in North America. Thanks to their keen sense of smell and persistent pursuit ability, hunting dogs can help hunters effectively locate, chase, and capture foxes. During each hunting journey, the hunter will use from 2 to 6 hunting dogs to surround invading foxes. In terms of running speed, invasive foxes are faster than hunting dogs. However, in the hunting journey, the combination of hunting dogs is still highly effective and shortens the time to search for invasive species. When faced with the problem of invasive foxes harming farms, it is necessary to turn to humane actions. When implementing control measures such as hunting or trapping foxes, raise public awareness of the importance of humanely controlling invasive foxes. Share information about effective and humane fox control methods and encourage people to use these methods. Do you support using hunting equipment to reduce the number of invasive foxes in North America? If you agree, please comment number 2. Do you like this approach? If yes, leave a comment with the number 1. And if not, leave a comment with the number 0 to increase the effectiveness of trapping methods. Traps should be set about 2 to 3 times per week. However, this process requires attention and compliance with important regulations. Thank you for watching all the videos. Click the like button and subscribe to the channel to watch the latest videos on measures to deal with invasive foxes. Canada tops the list with 2,425 reports of feral swine across the state's 253 counties. Georgia took second place with 1,377 wild boar reports. Other states making the top 5 include Mississippi and Oklahoma. An invasive species is becoming one of Canada's top pests. They can reach weights of more than 150 pounds and grow from 5 to 6 feet long. They often travel in small family groups or alone. Wild boars are prolific breeders and can maintain large populations. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, this is one of the most destructive and formidable invasive species in the country. Although boars primarily eat plants, their habits can cause damage to native ecosystems. Have you ever encountered invasive wild boars while walking on the road? How did you act when you encountered a wild boar? If you don't panic, comment number 0. USASC research shows that concentrated in the Canadian prairies, wild boars now have a range of more than 293 square miles. Researchers found that a male wild boar's territory can be as large as 116 square miles in the summer, with sows having a territorial range of up to 143 miles. Wild boar territories are growing, so how can Canadian farmers deal with them? Canadians have applied the method of hunting wild boars using traps in the Chiba Pref area, which is a smart wild boar trapping system. The cages, which come with a feeding machine to lure wild boars inside, were developed by Japanese Yuta Mokichuki, 20, a student at the National Institute of Technology, Kisarazu College. The design of this cage is that the cage is 5 feet long, 3 feet wide, and 2 feet high. Regular feeding by automatic machines will increase the catch rate, and people will not need to walk around to check whether animals are caught in traps or not. However, some old traps have not been installed with automatic machines like this. What do you think about this new method of Canadians? Last fiscal year, the number of wild boars captured as of the end of February reached 937, more than double the number of 387 caught in fiscal 2017. Estimated losses cost farmers more than $142.4 million USD, 2.5 times the damage seen 5 years ago. The invasive wild boar problem in Canada is increasingly being controlled thanks to the application of this method of automatic trapdoor trapping. However, stories about invasive wild boars are still a concern for Canadians, as wild boars are still not completely controlled. An employee at the Nature Center here said they expressed concern about the impact of wild boars on the ecosystem. In your opinion, is using this type of trap effective? If it doesn't work, do you have any suggested solutions to share with everyone? You are a hunter who has not prepared himself with knowledge about wild boar hunting activities or learned about things that are not illegal during recreational hunting. Some communities in Canada do not support the practice of trapping piglets. If the trap catches a herd of piglets, people will sterilize them and then release them back into the natural environment. If you support this method, please comment number 1. Moving on to method number 2, using a leg trap. This method will be different from hunting with hunting equipment. This hunting process will take more time, but brings safety to the hunter, avoiding attacks by wild boars. Canadian farmers often use leg traps to catch invasive wild boars. This mechanism usually requires about a week to trap wild boar. A wild boar is usually estimated to be caught approximately 3 to 7 days after the trap is set. Usually, wild boar trapping will be done by 1 or 2 people, depending on the size and complexity of the trapping area. One trap can catch a wild boar weighing 150 to 300 pounds. Is this number huge? According to a farmer, they trapped an invasive wild boar and discovered it had many large warts on its lower abdomen. Therefore, such boars may be infected, so they need to be handled carefully and should not be processed because it may affect their health. Farmers in Canada need to exercise caution when collecting wild boars caught in foot traps. First, they need to make sure they have the right protective equipment, including anti-bite gloves and protective face masks, to avoid injury when approaching a trapped animal. The question is, if the wild boar trap is in such a deep forest, how can the farmer determine the location of the trapped wild boar? Coming to the last method, different from the above two methods, this method of setting net traps will catch a large number of wild boars, from 10 to 20 in one trap. However, the most important method in this method is preparing the bait. When the bait is fragrant, it will attract a large number of wild boars into the trap. According to Canadians, wild boars are most active in the evening, so during the day 2 to 3 will be caught in traps. During the day, the hunter will check the trap once. If they discover 1 to 2 wild boars trapped in the trap, they will handle them with hunting tools. Do you prefer using net traps or hunting tools? Comment your opinion below to wait for everyone's response. Are you a farmer who doesn't know how to use net traps to catch invasive wild boars? Don't worry, you don't need to buy or maintain net traps, nor do you need to learn how to set traps. In Canada, there is a net trap rental service for you. It will cost some money to do this, but it will help you learn the most effective way to set traps. Now that you have learned about the 3 different types of traps, which method do you find most effective in dealing with invasive wild boars? What methods can you use while hunting?
So since these solutions have been effective in preventing the growth of colonies of some invasive species, do you believe in any other better solution? If so, please don't forget to share your comments and opinions down below. Plus, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to support our channel with our upcoming videos. And lastly, don't forget to share this video with all your friends so that they can watch it and enjoy it as well.
Millions of invasive monkeys have attacked a California city, causing an estimated $20,000 in damage due to power outages. To deal with millions of invasive monkeys, what measures have Californians taken? Please join me in following the video. A serious incident caused power outages for 5,000 households in the San Francisco Bay Area, California, USA in July 2018. The incident originated from a rhesus monkey at the Yerkes Primate Research Center, University of California, Davis. This monkey escaped from the cage and climbed onto a power pole, biting into a 12,000-volt power line. As a result, power lines shorted, leading to power outages in surrounding areas. Millions of, in particular, Southern California Edison CE had to spend about $20,000 USD to overcome the consequences. Luckily, in this incident, there was no human damage.